this video, let us analyze the first order system based on unit step input and ramp input. Okay, so let us analyze the first order system in terms of unit step input and ramp input. Now when we say a word called order, first order, second order and so on, so what is that order means? Okay, what does that order means? First we see that the definition of order of any system is the highest power of S. So in my previous video we all saw the type of system, type 0, type 1, type 2. So there you separate poles and zeros and then check what is the power of S to say type 0, type 1. Now I'll first say type and how order is related to that. Now for example, we took type of the system. To know the type of the system, we took g of s into h of s to be equal to k into 1 plus t1s. So k into 1 plus t1s multiplied by 1 plus t2s and so on, divided by k into s into s power j into 1 plus tas into 1 plus tbs and so on. So this was the g of s into h of s equation we took for knowing the type of the system based on the value of j, right? When j was equal to 0, we said it is type 0. When j was equal to 1, we said it is type 1. When j was equal to 2, we said type 2 and so on. So it all depends on the value of j to say what type of system it is. Now what exactly this is in terms of S-plane. Now S-plane, this is the S-plane where the real axis, okay, the x-axis is called as a real axis where we point out all the real roots of the equation, okay, which is denoted by sigma. Normally the roots you will be getting s to be equal to sigma plus or minus j omega. So you might get only real roots, or you might get complex conjugate roots, or you might get complex roots. Okay, so roots in the sense you find out the roots for this particular s. Okay, so you all know how to find out the roots when it is a quadratic equation. I will use synthetic division method to find out the roots when it is s cube and so on. Okay, so when you find out the roots for s, that might be a real roots or it might be a complex conjugate roots. So in S-plane, we normally point out those roots where the x-axis will take all the real values, where y-axis will always take all the imaginary values. Okay, y-axis will take all the imaginary values. Now when I say s to the power of j, it is all s to the power of j is actually gives you the roots falling on the origin. Roots falling on the origin. Okay, now if you say s to the power of 0, okay, s to the power of j is roots falling on the origin. Now if I say s to the power of 0, it means that there are no roots falling on the origin. No roots falling on the origin. Now if I say s to the power of 1, then we say there is one root which is falling on the origin. Okay, there is one root which is falling in the origin. When I say s to the power of 2, I say there are two roots coming in the origin, falling on the origin. Okay, it means s square is s equals 0, s equals 0. S to the power of 1 means s equals 0, only one root. If I say s cube, then you say 3s equals 0. So 3 roots falling on the origin. Therefore, the type of the system will always say how many roots will fall on the origin. How many roots fall on the origin? Because you have taken s common, s to the power of j common. So when you equate this equation to 0, so when I equate s to the power of j into 1 plus tas into 1 plus tbs, for example, equals 0, then you say s to the power of j equals 0, 1 plus tas equals 0 and 1 plus tbs equals 0. This is what we equate, right? To find out the roots. Now when I say s to the power of j is 0 and type of the system is completely dependent on the value of j, then that means if s power 1 equals 0 means s equals 0, s power 2 equals 0 means it is s square equals 0, s power 3 equals 0 means s cube equals 0. So therefore this is how you get the number of roots falling on the origin, and that is the type of the system. Now what is order of a system? That is very important. Order of a system will say the highest power of s, highest power of s in the denominator, in the denominator of a closed loop transfer function, of a closed loop transfer function. So normally this g of s into h of s, what we take, this comes under open loop transfer function. Okay, g of s is into h of s is always a open loop transfer function. When I write an equation for a closed loop transfer function, when I write an equation for closed loop transfer function, what do I get? I will be getting g of s divided by 1 plus minus or plus h of s into g of s. This we know, right? Closed loop transfer function, we have derived this in the feedback path loop, feedback loop in block diagram reduction techniques. So that is what closed loop transfer function is all about. You get, this is the equation. Therefore, for a closed loop transfer function, denominator would be 1 minus plus h of s into g of s, depends on whether it is a negative feedback or a positive feedback. So it is minus if it is positive feedback, plus if it is a negative feedback. So therefore, if this 1 minus plus h of s into g of s has the equation in this term, for example, now for example 1 minus plus h of s into g of s is equal to s to the power of j into 1 plus t1s into 1 plus t2s and so on. So here for a type of a system, we knew that for j equals 0 or j equals 1 or j equals 2, we say that okay, the number of roots falling on the origin. Okay, now think j equals 1 here. Think j equals 1 here. Think j equals 1 here, s to the power of 1. So when I say type of the system, we normally say when it is 1, we say it is type 1 system. But is that the order of the system is same? No. The order of the system would be the highest power of s in the denominator. So here you take s common here, you get s square. Again you take s common here, you get s cube. Okay. So when you multiply this s into these equations, when you multiply this complete 3 terms, you get highest power s to be equal to s cube, right? S into s square, that s square into this s would be s cube, would be the highest power that you get in this equation. Therefore the order of the system would be equal to 3. Order of the system would be equal to 3, whereas type of the system is type 1. So this is what the definition of order of the system and how it is differentiated with type of the system. Okay. Now what we do, we will try to analyze the first order system based on unit step input and ramp input. To analyze the first order system, first we see how to consider the first order system. Let us take an example of first order system. Then we analyze that first order system for step input and ramp input. Okay. Now when I say first order system, the highest power of the denominator, the highest power of s in the denominator should be equal to 1. So the highest power of S in the denominator of the closed loop transfer function should be equal to 1. So let us see how to get a system which can give me a first order system. Okay, so I'll take a small electrical circuit example which comes under first order system. A simple RC circuit, filter circuit, comes under first order system. Okay, this is normally an RC filter circuit, what we call. The current would be I of t. Okay, the current would be I of t. Okay, this is a simple electronic circuit which comes under a first order system. Then how it is how it lies in the first order system. See, we'll try to write the transfer function for this particular circuit. So as we all know, to write the transfer function, first we need to convert the given circuit into Laplace equivalent. So this I have taught you in the transfer function video, where to find out the transfer function, first we will try to convert the given circuit into Laplace equivalent circuit. So the capacitor C becomes 1 over Cs, R remains to be R, V out of S. So this is the Laplace equivalent circuit that we have, that we take for writing the transfer function now. Now let me take the equation for V in of S. Our job is to find out what is V out of S by V in of S. That is the transfer function of any system that we find out. So if I write V in of S equals, I get I of S into R plus 1 over Cs into I of S. Okay, I of S into R plus 1 over Cs into I of S, which is equal to I of S. If I take common, I will be writing R plus 1 over Cs, R plus 1 over Cs. Okay, this is V in of S. Now if I try to say what is V out of S, what is V out of S? The voltage across the capacitor. So I can say current multiplied by the impedance, which is I of S into 1 over Cs, is V out of Cs. Okay, now what we do, I'll just multiply, take LCM and find out the final expression for this. So RCS plus 1 by Cs is what? V in of S. Now the transfer function V out of S by V in of S would be equal to, just divide this with this. So it is I of S into 1 over Cs divided by I of S into RCS plus 1 by Cs. So here I of S gets cancelled, CS gets cancelled. Therefore you see that V out of S by V in of S is equal to 1 over RCS plus 1. So if you see, the highest power of S here is 1, right? The highest power of S here is 1. Therefore this comes under first order system. So the highest power of S is 1. Highest power of S in the denominator is 1. So it's a first order system. It's a first order system. Now if you see this equation, RC can be written as the time constant T, right? Normally when we find out the time constant, we try to see RC is what the time constant. Value of R multiplied by C will be the time constant that we define for an filter circuit. Therefore V out of S by V in of S equals 1 over 1 plus Ts. So this is the equation for the transfer function of a first order system, for a first order system. So I hope you got it. Now what we do, we will try to check the unit step response of a first order system. So how the first order system will behave for a unit step input, that is what. How the first order system will behave for a unit step input. Okay. So let us take the transfer function equation, which is V out of S by V in of S equals 1 over 1 plus Ts. Therefore V out of S equals V in of S divided by 1 plus Ts. Now if I say, if the input is unit step input, if the input is unit step input, then V in of S would be equal to 1 by S. This we have seen in the definition of step input when we covered different standard inputs video. In that video you can see V in of S would be equal to 1 over S for unit step input. Therefore V out of S would be equal to 1 over S divided by 1 plus Ts, or I would say 1 over S into 1 plus Ts. That is V out. Now we need to find out the output V out of S in time domain, and then we see the graph that we write for various time, the time response, where the behavior of the first order system with respect to the time, how it behaves. So therefore we need to convert this S domain equation into a T domain equation. For that purpose what we do is we use partial fraction for this V out of S, and then we apply the inverse Laplace transform to find out V out of T. Okay. So to perform partial fraction, we say V out of S equals A by S plus B by 1 plus Ts, right? A by S plus B by 1 plus Ts. So let us find out what is A and B. So A by S plus B by 1 plus Ts equals so I don't think so you need to find out A and B, anyway we will see that. So equals 0. So therefore A by S, so therefore A into 1 plus Ts plus B into S equals 0. Okay. So therefore if S is equal to 0, sorry, it is not equal to 0, it is equal to 1. Okay. So if S equals 0, A into 1 equals 1, therefore A will be equal to 1. Now if S is equal to minus 1 over T, right? If S is equal to minus 1 over T, so therefore A into 0, because minus 1 over T if I apply, A will become 0. B into minus 1 over T equals 1. So B is equal to minus T. B is equal to minus T. B is equal to minus T. Or we can say B is equal to minus RC. Okay. Therefore, V out of S would be equal to V out of S equals A by S is 1 by S minus T by, which is minus RC by 1 plus TS or 1 plus RCS. Now what I'll do, I'll take RC common here, which is equal to 1 over S minus RC divided by, I'll take RC common, so what will I get? S plus 1 over RC. Okay, now this RC and RC gets cancelled, so therefore V out of S equals 1 over S minus 1 over S plus 1 over RC. Okay, 1 over S minus 1 over S plus 1 over RC. Now, if I apply the inverse Laplace transform for this particular equation, I will be getting V out of t equals, so Laplace inverse of 1 over S is equal to 1. Therefore, 1 minus Laplace inverse of 1 over S plus A would be equal to e power minus A t. Okay, e power minus a t. Therefore, here in the place of a we have 1 over RC. Therefore, this becomes e power minus 1 over RC t. Minus 1 over RC into t. Now, if you see here, this would be a steady state response, okay, added with this term which is a transient response. Okay, transient response. So when t tends to infinity, you see when t tends to infinity, this V out of t would be equal to 1 minus e power minus infinity, where e power minus infinity is 0, therefore 1 minus 0 will be equal to 1. So therefore, t tends to infinity is what? The steady state response. Therefore, you see that V out of t would be equal to 1 at t equals infinity. Whereas when you vary the time, you get different values of V out of t, that becomes the transient response. Okay. So let us construct a table for this and write the curve. So here we have V out of t, we have t and then V out of t are the two columns which we write. We have t and then we will say V out of t. Now let us say first time t equals 0. So it is V out of t is what? 1 minus e power minus 0, which is equal to 1 minus 1, which is equal to 0. I got 0, output is 0. Now I will take t to be equal to RC. So here 1 minus e power minus 1 by RC into RC. So you get 1 minus e power minus 1. So in the calculator, if you see e power minus 1 and subtract that with 1, you get 0.632. Similarly, I will take 2 times RC. You get 1 minus e power minus 2. So you can calculate that in the calculator and subtract with 1. You will be getting 0.860. Similarly, 3 times RC, you get 0.950. Similarly, 4 times RC, you get 0.982. So you tend to infinity, finally V out of t will be reaching to 1. Okay. Now if I draw the curve for this, t and V out of t, so this is time t, this is V out of t, then the output at the end for t tends to infinity should reach 1. So the curve will go like this. It goes like this, increase, 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 and then becomes 1. Right? At t tends to infinity, the V out of t is almost reaching to 1. Now you see the value will be 0.632, 0.860, 0.950, 0.982, 0.986. It keeps on giving the same value, 0.98, 0.99, and until it becomes infinity, it reaches to 1 anyway. So this Curve is nothing but 1 minus e power minus 1 by RC into t, what we got. So this is the unit step response for first order system. Okay. Now what we'll do, we will try to go for ramp input. When the input is ramp, what do we get for a first order system? Okay, what do we get for a first order system when the ramp input is being given? Okay, again we will take the first order system, C of s by R of s equals, so let me say ramp input equals 1 over 1 plus Ts. This is what the first order system transfer function is all about. Okay, now we know that for a ramp input R of s to be equal to 1 over s square, right? R of s equals 1 over s square. Therefore, C of s would be equal to 1 over s square divided by 1 plus Ts, which is equal to 1 over s square into 1 plus Ts. Okay, 1 over s square into 1 plus Ts. So therefore, so that is the V out of s we took, V out of, so C of s is what? V out of s actually. So we'll keep same way, it is V out of s. Anyway, C of s is something related to the output response. So V out of s, so it is V out of s equals this. Now again partial fraction, V out of s equals a by s square. So we know partial fraction, a by s square plus b by s plus c divided by 1 plus Ts. Okay, plus c divided by 1 plus Ts. Therefore, so this is V out of s equals this partial fraction whatever we do. So here a into s into 1 plus Ts, sorry, a into 1 plus Ts, that's it, not s will not come because s square is there. So it is a into 1 plus Ts plus b into s into 1 plus Ts plus c into s square equals 1, equals 1. So here a plus ats plus bs plus bts square plus cs square equals 1. So here we equate the LHS and RHS in terms of s power. So here if you see constant a and 1 is constant, therefore a will be equal to 1. Directly we can say a equals 1. Okay, fine. Then then what is b? Here at plus b, see at plus b is what? The power s equals 0. Then as a equals 1, t plus b equals 0. Therefore b will be equal to minus t. B will be equal to minus t. Similarly, you see that bt s square plus c s square. So I will equate s square term. So I will get bt plus c equals 0, and we know that b is minus t. Therefore minus t into t plus c equals 0. Therefore c will be equal to t square. Okay, I will substitute this with the equations there. So therefore V out of s equals a by s square, which is 1 by s square, minus b, which is t divided by s, plus c, which is t square divided by 1 plus ts. Okay, So this would be equal to 1 over s square minus t into 1 over s plus, I'll take t square by 1 plus ts, as t common if I take, I'll get t square divided by t into s plus 1 over t. So t gets cancelled. So therefore I'll be getting t into 1 over s plus 1 over t. Now you apply the Laplace inverse for this. So what do we get? The Laplace inverse for 1 by s square, sorry, this is v out of s. So now v out of t equals Laplace inverse of 1 over s square is equal to t. You get t, okay, is equal to t. Therefore it is 1 over s square into t, which is t, minus t into 1, because Laplace inverse of 1 over s is actually equal to 1, plus t into e power minus 1 over t into t. Now we will substitute for t, which is t minus rc plus rc into e power minus 1 by rc t. Now if I take t minus rc common, I will be getting 1 minus e power minus 1 by rc t. So this is the output for a ramp input. So when you take ramp input, this is the output for a ramp input that we get. Okay, so how it will behave now? Let us see how the circuit will behave. For a graph, if I assume to write the graph, this is t, this is the output v out of t. As t is there, see here, t is there here. So when e power minus 1 by rc, when t equals 0, what happens? T minus rc into 1 minus e power minus 0. So it is 1 minus 1 is 0, you will be getting t only. So v out of t will be equal to t when t is equal to 0. So v out of t will be equal to 0 only, because t equals 0. Okay. So therefore if you see, whenever you change the value of time t, that time t will also be here. So therefore you can check that the graph will increase like this. This is the ramp, that you get. Okay, this is what the curve that you get for the ramp input. This is the time response. So why did you got this curve in this way? As we have a t here, you try to take t to be equal to rc, 2 times rc, 4 times rc, 5 times rc. You see that the graph varies with respect to time t. Not only e power, it also varies with respect to time t. So linearly you see the graph keeps on changing with the increase in time that we take. Okay. So therefore earlier for unit step you had only this, but now for ramp input you got this expression, where now the ramp is completely dependent on the time t, whereas in unit step it was completely dependent on e power term. Okay. So what would be the steady state response? See, v out of t would be equal to t minus rc into 1 minus e power minus infinity, right? So it is t minus rc into 1, but t tends to infinity, so infinity minus rc will be equal to infinity. Therefore this varies with respect to time. V out of t equals infinity for steady state, so it keeps on increasing. There is no end for v out of t. Fine. So therefore this is what the ramp input response for a first order system. I hope you are clear with what is the order of a system, how it is differentiated by the type of the system, and how to find out the response of a first order system based on unit step input and ramp input. So I hope this video helped you in learning all these concepts. In my next video, we will see the unit step response of a second order system.